think of a cool story. A long time ago, in a land not so far from here, I worked construction. Yes, construction, believe it or not. And my job was to do finish work. So what I had to do was the foreman came around every other day and picked us up. We drove like 3 hours to Penn State, and we had to work on these houses that all the students were going to be living in. So that was cool and all, and my job, as I said, was finish work. And all I had to do was go around and make sure all the cracks and everything looked good. Everything was painted, the windows were done right, the outlets were in, the light bulbs were in, and the houses were clean whenever everyone was done. Now, I was like fresh out of college, so that was pretty much my skill level at the time. And it went really good. And then, like 3 days later, my foreman comes up to me and he's like, you know, Jay, I didn't really hire you to do this kind of stuff. I hired you to do crown molding. And I suck at crown molding. I'm not good at it. So I went to one of the older guys that worked there, and I was like, you know, bro, why don't you show me how to do this? So he showed me, and I could do it, but my speed to keep up with everyone else in the crew was not sufficient. So that went for a couple days. And the foreman comes up to me again. And he's like, you know, Jay, I didn't really hire you to do crowd molding. And I was like, oh yeah? What did you hire me for this time? And he's like, you know what I hired you for? I hired you to go work with this other guy now, and he builds porches. And I'm like, porches? Heck yeah, I could build a porch. That's easy. So I go find this guy. And now this is like a huge cul-de-sac of houses. So I had to find him. Well, I found him. And I'm like, hey man, this guy told me that I'm supposed to be helping you. And I'm going to help you build porches. I'm like, I know how to do all that. You just have to give me the measurements. And he looked at me weird. And I was like, you know, I have tools and you have the supplies here, I see. I just need some type of a drawing, schematic, blueprint, you know, measurements. So I could, you know, am I building a 10-foot wide porch? Am I building a 2-foot wide porch? I don't know, I just got here. So he kind of stared at me. Kind of like that. It was kind of weird. I didn't know what was going on. And he looked at me. And he said, exact words, if you don't know how to build it, you can just get out. And that's the same reaction that I had. I kind of busted out laughing because I wasn't prepared for that answer. So I got out and I walked the whole way back to the other foreman, and I was like, I went and seen that guy, and it did not go well. All I asked was for measurements, and he fired me, basically. So at this point, my foreman was not happy with me. He looked at me with a face of disgust, and he said, "Jay, just go get in the truck." Now, mind you, I was like, let's say like around 25 years old at this point, maybe a little younger. But I was almost a 25-year-old man, and I had another man look at me and tell me, just go get in the truck. Well, it was still early that day, so I went and got the truck, and I sat there all day. And he took me home, and he gave me my last paycheck, and he's like, "Jay, don't come back." And I was like, "All right, foreman man. Told you I couldn't do crown molding to begin with." So, that's the story of how I got fired from construction. I want to give a shout out to Gino, the rowdy redneck. He's on TikTok. Not sure if he's on any other platforms here, but he told me that this would be a good story to tell, and I want to give a thanks to him for making me think of telling such a tale. So, as always, stay tasty, and I'll catch you next time.